Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Grade A Talks, a space where we strip away the filters and confront life's truths head on. Here we delve into the real, the raw, and the often uncomfortable lessons that life throws our way. Remember, everything shared is based on personal experiences and perspectives. Take what resonates and leave what does not. These are personal insights, not professional advice. Proceed with an open mind, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find a nugget of wisdom to carry forward. My grandma always told me, always, little one, question the world around you. So I don't plan on shutting up anytime soon. I have a lot to say, and so let's have this conversation. Welcome.
Welcome to another episode of Grade A Talks. It's your girl Ariel, the gracious, the well-informed, the nurse bae. So much has been occurring this year, people. I really want to know, regardless if you're a Democrat or a Republican, how do you feel right now? Like, do you feel misled? Do you feel misinformed? Are you regretting your decision? I ask this because I feel like so many people are truly regretting their decisions. I work with one lady in particular. I will not disclose her name. I work with her at the hospital, though. She's an older nurse, and we are quite fond of one another. She's really nice, really chill, but she is a Trump supporter, and she expresses it. She vocalizes. She is so proud to be a Trumper, and we talk about his policies very often. And right now, her and her husband, who are diehard Trump supporters, are a little scared about certain policies that he has implemented because they're going to affect him, which is, I feel, the overall consensus as far as how people are feeling. I feel like a lot of people who voted for Trump back in November really didn't take into consideration that they probably were going to be affected by some of these policies. One of the groups in particular that didn't know they were a minority until they, fucked around and found out were white women. I think in America, it would be very important to notate that if you're not a white male, you are in fact a part of the minority. Let's go through some of the policies that Trump has instated that has people going crazy. All right, so one of the first things Trump instated was the Lake and Riley Act, which is a federal detention, no bond for illegal immigrants in the event that they assault law enforcement or cause injury. As many of you know, I spoke briefly about Project 2025 last year. And I feel like this year we're actually seeing a lot of those components of Project 2025 be in our face right now. Like, we're seeing a lot of the things as far as like the deportation, of illegal immigrants. Some of them aren't even illegal immigrants. Some of those people actually were born here and have been here for a long time. They're being deported. So many people are scared. Their citizenship is up in arms. It's really crazy. I know you all are familiar with all of the protesting that they were doing in LA. It got pretty violent. And I'm not surprised. I figured that it was going to happen, but police have immunity now, and that was granted, by the federal government. So there's really not much that you can do to go against them, especially when they are operating within their duty. So it's a lot going on. I know you've heard about the No Kings protest. Donald Trump's been on social media really portraying himself to be not a president, but more of a dictator. It's like more of a royal house. It's not the White House anymore. It's like the royal house. Like, he thinks he's a king. So a lot of people have come together, unified in the streets, and they've been doing the No Kings protest. Everybody but us, really, my black women. And we've been receiving a lot of flack from the Latino community because the Latino community feels like black people aren't being as supportive as they should be. Being a black person in America, you are the default champions of everyone else's issues. People expect you to go out there and risk your life about plights that don't necessarily relate to you. The same people who are expecting black people to stand up for them are the same people who at the polls last year didn't consider black people at all. A lot of people voted Republican because they didn't think that the policies of the Republican Party were going to affect them. And now today, you walking around here with a stupid face. So I don't really know. I'm always going to be an advocate for people's problems, but I will never place another person's problems over my own. I don't feel like I need to be out there protesting for anyone else's rights when my people have so many rights that we haven't even received yet. The Emmett Till law still hasn't been passed. Black people still don't even have any law in legislation to protect us from hate crimes. So until my people have what we have, no offense, I hope your people get everything they need, but charity starts at home. So my people are my first priority, and that's, it's been hell for Black people for forever. A lot of people are starting to see things in a different perspective now because it's hitting home, but it's been like this for Black people for forever. A lot of things that you're seeing in the news, violence with police, et cetera, Black people been telling y'all that. Sometimes you don't really understand oppression or, its minions until they start affecting you and your people. So welcome to America, people. This is what y'all chose, and this is what we're going to deal with for the next 4 years. Of all of his policies that he did initiate when he came into office, one of the ones that I feel was the best was the Take It Down Act, and that's for revenge porn. Anyone who has ever been in a relationship with someone, been in any situation with someone where a person had access to very vulnerable tapes of you, very vulnerable messages of you, you do not deserve for any of that to be exposed online. So that is one thing I will say Trump got right, revenge porn. I wonder if somebody tried to do some revenge porn on Trump. Because y'all know Trump like to grab him by the... So there's actual video footage of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein partying it up, living their best billionaire lives. And Donald Trump is caught on camera telling Jeffrey Epstein, hey, there are cameras out here. Chill. Like, don't be out here doing too much. I know you a little weird. I know you like your women, in pubescent age. You like them in junior high. But the cameras are out. So let's conduct ourselves accordingly. It's video footage of that. And Elon Musk, it's like he in his feelings. I don't understand that. Like, if you a billionaire, why you in your feelings? I don't know. They messy. But, yeah, he reiterated the fact that Donald Trump was in those videos, that he was in close connection with Epstein, and the reason why the Epstein list hasn't been released to the public, although it's been rumored and speculated about for the past 4 or 5 years, is because Donald Trump is within the context of those documents, along with a lot of other, powerful people. Keep in mind, Queen Elizabeth, over there in the UK, her son Andrew was a part of that. Bill Clinton is videoed with young women in his lap. They on planes, they on boats, bringing him stuff. Don't you feel bad for Hillary? Now I see why Hillary crazy. You dealing with that. How you gonna compete with somebody who in puberty? And you in going through your midlife crisis. You going through menopause, but your man wants somebody who, just graduated 6th grade. That's crazy to me. These people are crazy. But yeah, that's what's going on. And that just, it just shows really that if you have money and you have power, you will get away with hell. And that's America. The history of America is just full of rich white men being able to have it their way, being able to erase history, because this is historical, the Epstein case. Because you have multi-billionaires in connection. Keep in mind, Bill Gates. Why do you think his wife divorced him? She mentioned Jeffrey Epstein, in her interview with Gayle King. She said when she met the man the first time, she could sense in his aura that he was evil. And your husband was like real close to this man. So what you think your husband was doing? What was Bill Gates doing? Telling y'all, these elitists, these people are nuts, and they will do anything to keep having it their way. Like, they don't care. Money does matter to them because it gives them grounds to just do whatever they want to do, and they can pay off anyone. They can hide things like they are for Trump with this Epstein law. It's crazy, but that's just what it is. Also, in regards to the one big beautiful bill that Trump has proposed, they're going to be allocating $165 to $170 billion for deporting illegal immigrants and for reconstructing the border wall. So you mean to tell me you're going to take $800 billion away from Medicaid? So you're okay with your people getting sicker and dying, population control, but you're going to instead reroute those funds to building a wall at the border, and for deporting people. It don't cost that much money to deport nobody. what are y'all really doing with this money? On one hand, y'all saying that y'all clearing it up, y'all getting the crooks out, putting the money where it needs to go, even though so much is not being regulated now because of, you laying off these different federal departments, et cetera, et cetera. But you're so aimed at keeping people out that you feel are making America bad, when really America is rotting from within. It's an internal rot that is going to, mess up the economy and basically the fabric of America as we've known it to be. So I don't know, but we shall see. And again, remember, this is what y'all asked for, so here you go. Speaking of crazy, I saw a video of this lady. She was a white lady, of course. She called ICE on her competition. They have a business. I'm not gonna say the business. I saw this video on TikTok. The lady called ICE on her Mexican competitor, and they came and took the lady. And the white lady ran up to them crying, like, I feel so bad. I never should have did that. You did mean to do that. Like, my thing is, if you're gonna do something, and this goes for every American out there, we need to just stand 10 toes down. Like, if you're going to do something, no matter how diabolical it is, when the shit hits the fan and you are the culprit and everybody know that you're the person that, committed that atrocious act, stand on business. I feel like we live in a society as a whole where people just throw rocks and hide behind their hands. And that's why Donald Trump was able to become president, because people look at him as someone who says what they think and says how they feel. That's why a lot of people voted for him. I've heard so many people say, Donald Trump, he is kind of crazy, but I trust him. I believe in what he say. I believe that who he shows me is who he truly is. Now, if that is true or not, I don't know. I'm not a Trump supporter, nor was I on the Democratic Plantation Party. But we have so much fakeness and phoniness in America. Like, people don't mean what they say. And if they do say something, you have to question if there's an agenda behind it or what's their intention behind it. So just stand on business. Like, if you're going to do something, if you're going to say something, please, for the sake of me and all other logical, thinking, breathing people, stand on what you're saying. Like, if you're going to do it, be about it. That's all I ask. And as far as doing it and being about it, that brings me to my next topic, people. Luigi Mangione. I know y'all in love with this man. Boy, this is the perfect example of pretty privilege. If Luigi Mangione looked any less beautiful than what you all claim him to be, there's no way that y'all will be going this hard for this man. If Luigi Mangione looked like Flavor Flav, y'all would have told them to throw that man under the jail the minute y'all heard that he was the suspect. So, back in December 4th, 2024 to be exact, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was murdered in Manhattan, New York at like 6 o'clock in the morning. They be killing people early. But why you outside that early? Like, I don't know. But there's video footage of this atrocious act. 26-year-old, he just turned 27 May 6th. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione was found in Alhona, Pennsylvania. He was caught by a McDonald's employee. I'm telling it. They caught this man eating and called the officials and said, hey, the description of the person, the photo that you all released, we feel like this is the person that's in here eating these fries. Can y'all imagine getting away? You've been away for like 4 or 5 days on this like run. You done got away from Manhattan, New York. You're in Pennsylvania. With all these cameras and all of this stuff they have in these major cities, you were able to escape, and you only got caught because your ass wanted a double cheeseburger. I would be incensed. But anyway, they told on the man. So he was facing state charges in both Pennsylvania and New York. He was eventually extradited to New York, where he was facing first-degree murder. In this time, of course, he's been denying any affiliation with the case. He denies all charges. He was found, however, with a manifesto to the feds calling the United States healthcare system parasites. The bullet shellings found on the scene had the words deny, defend, and disposed engraved on them, which makes me feel as though this attack was very personal. I'm not one to go back and forth with the criminality piece. If Luigi Mangione was guilty or not, I'll let the courts do their job when it comes to that. However, I want to know personally who benefited from Brian Thompson being murdered. That's what we should be asking. Who benefits from the United Healthcare CEO being murdered? Because we know that even with the case of Donald Trump being almost assassinated last year, and although the front man was the young white kid, I wonder who was behind that. I'm always wondering who is behind that, who's pressing that button for certain events to take place. So I don't know. We'll watch the court proceedings on that case, and I'll come back with more info on that. He is currently still in jail, and they haven't released any new information as far as if he's going to take a plea deal, if they have any new information. So we'll wait on that. But for all you women who are out there all in the comments, oh my God, Luigi Mangione, he's so fine. This should be a very clear case that just because somebody look good don't mean they not crazy. A lot of cute people be crazy. And the thing that's crazy is about this situation for me is that this wasn't just any old random person. Like, he comes from a very established family. He graduated with his bachelor's and master's in the science of computer engineering from UPenn. So he's an Ivy League graduate, which further, makes me question if he had as big of a hand in this situation. It just doesn't make sense for someone who comes for money and who's relatively successful to commit this type of crime. So I guess we'll be on the lookout for that. Speaking of crimes, Frisco, Texas high school senior Carmelo Anthony, not the basketball player, people. I saw so many people in the comments, is this a basketball player? Like, not Carmelo Anthony, the basketball player. Talking about Carmelo Anthony, the 18-year-old who was 17 at the time of the offense. He was at a track meet April 2nd, 2025 in Frisco, Texas. It's been alleged that Austin Metcalf, who is now deceased, and his twin brother, tried to make him move from his seating in a public space. They tried to make him move, and things got violent. You got to take into consideration that Carmelo Anthony is like short, he's skinny. It's two big football players, 6-footers, attacking him. They've had a history of saying very racist slurs, being bullies at the school. This is nothing that I'm just saying. This has been documented that they're known to being racist and bullies. And that makes sense to me. I don't know why so many people are against black people defending themselves. If I have two big football players attacking me and trying to uproot me, the problem is for 400 years, white people have felt this entitlement to black people's bodies. Like, they feel like they have jurisdiction over the black body. So even just think about it, like, even when you're walking, like, I notice this even when I'm walking. Say, for example, me and a white person are walking, they automatically feel like you're gonna move to make space for them. Like, I've seen it. It's like that unwritten law that I'm here and you're aware that I'm here, so you have to make space for me. This is not 400 years ago. This is 2025. Nobody's making space for anyone. We're all on equal playing fields in my mind. And a lot of other people feel that way. Why would Austin Metcalf and his twin brother feel that they could just interject themselves and move someone to the point where they went and started messing with his things? And he told them, like, leave me alone. And, Austin was stabbed in his chest. When the news outlets initially released this story, they said that he was stabbed with a knife. And of course, people were like, why would you have a knife at a track meet? Which, if you all understand, the law in Texas, that's not against the law to have a knife. Especially if you're, a young teenager in Texas. Like, I would, vouch for you to have protection. Not necessarily use it just because you're, in a situation, but there's nothing wrong, and again, it's not against the law in Texas for you to have a knife on you. So I don't know why so many people were like, why does he have that? Like, a lot of people have protection on them. You know, a lot of high school students have protection on them, whether it be on their body or in their car. Like, you would be surprised how many people like ride around and go through their days with protection on them, especially with the climate of the world today. Why would you ever want to be caught lacking? So back to the point, when the news outlets initially released this, they said he had a knife. Come to find out, it wasn't a knife. It was a sharpener. You know, the sharpeners they use in track meets, like to sharpen their shoes. That's what it was. But when you say a knife, it just makes it sound so egregious and like animalistic. It's like you're looking for a problem. It makes it feel like you're like always on the defense, you know, kind of like premeditated, like he was looking for a problem, like he wanted to hurt them. And that wasn't the case. In regards to the video, you know, like I said, with the Luigi Mangione video, we could see that video. Like, they had footage and they released that footage. With the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf video, and they do have this video, they're requiring people to register to see this video. Why would you not release it on TV? You know, that makes me question, like, if the video footage that you have is incriminating for Carmelo Anthony, why would it not be released? I don't understand that. And it makes me feel like the video probably isn't incriminating for Carmelo Anthony. It's probably showing that the McCaff twins were the initial aggressors. You know, the news outlets are backed by white elitists who want to perpetuate their agenda and their influence. So it makes sense that they wouldn't put it out there. In regards to Carmelo Anthony, they started a GoFundMe for him as far as his litigation process and his lawyer fees. Well, you know, they shut it down and they weren't allowing anyone to, you know, receive the funds. And then a lot of mad white people went and they were threatening his family. They were lying, saying that they bought a home and a new car with the money that they received from the GoFundMe. Come to find out, that also was a lie. The black people already lived in a nice neighborhood. They already had their home before that situation even occurred. Already had their nice car before anyone ever got, you know, murdered or anyone ever donated any funds to the Metcalf family. So that's another thing that bothered me, because it's like it gives off the interpretation that black people can't have anything. I know a lot of black people in Texas who have good money. I know a lot of black people in Texas who are living good, who have money, who have a nice home. I have an uncle in Dallas, Texas, who owns a chain of stores and has been living nice for the past 30 years. So that whole, you know, mindset of black people not being able to afford certain things and not be able to live a certain lifestyle, y'all need to stop that. That's crazy to me. You don't even know if the Anthonys live better than the Metcalfs. Y'all just running around making black people feel like they're a charity case. Like, no, they had a nice home. He has a 2-parent household, married family. So you can't try to throw those type of stereotypes on everyone. And if we're being honest, most of the people in America, statistically speaking, who are on welfare are white people. So we need to change the narrative around that. Black people do have money. Now, do we execute financial literacy with our funds? Do we unify our funds to build our community up? Not as much as we should, but just wait on it. We'll get it together. It's so much craziness as far as the GoFundMe, because if you look at the Luigi Mangione case, who is a white male who supposedly, allegedly killed another white male, the GoFundMe account was never closed. They were never playing with his money. Why is that happening with Carmelo Anthony? And why are we as black people allowing the narrative of they were using the funds for frivolous reasons when GoFundMe even released a statement saying they haven't touched any of the money? Like, they haven't gotten any of the money. And the people that are trying to get the money are his lawyers, you know, because that's what the money was intended for. So we just need to stick with the facts. Y'all be so emotional out there. I'm so over the selective outrage. When George Floyd had that police officer's knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 14 seconds and it was on camera, crickets. When Trayvon Martin was murdered by a grown man while he was just walking to the house, crickets. When Sonia Macy was murdered last year in her home, and she was the one who actually contacted the, police because she felt like somebody was, trying to break into her house, crickets. But when a young black male protects himself in self-defense from two, known bullies, outrage. I'm tired of y'all. Selective outrage. And then you say, oh, it's not always about color. These will be the same people that be like, oh, it's not about color. Yes, it is. We are aware that black people are looked at in the light of, you just got to take it. There's so many people, and it doesn't make any logical sense. It just seems as though if a black person is to defend themselves from a white person and they are the victors in defending themselves, they actually get the blame as well. So it's like, you may be the victim, but the media is going to perceive you to be, the culprit. You're always in the wrong, and that's not fair. That's not justice. That's not fair. That's not liberty. Like, it's really horrible, and it makes you not be able to trust the judicial system, which I don't. So it's just a lot going on with that. He was indicted on June 24th, 2025 with first-degree murder charges. Defense is asserting self-defense. The prosecuting attorney is emphasizing the fact that 17-year-olds are charged as adults in Texas, and so the self-defense rhetoric needs to be thrown out. They're saying, no, it was not self-defense. He was 17 years old. He was well aware of what was happening. There was no way that, Austin Metcalf, should have got stabbed, which I'm not for anyone being stabbed. I'm not for anyone being murdered. I feel like everyone should be able to live, but I also feel like black people should be able to protect themselves. Like what Malcolm X say, like, by any means necessary. If I feel like my life is in jeopardy and you are the person jeopardizing my life, I feel like I should be able to, give you just as much harm as you're getting me, so that I can make sure that I'm living, so this is another case of the fuck around and find out. I hate to say it, but that's what it is. You can't be putting your hands on people, and hopefully now other people will look and, think twice about, just putting your hands on people. I tell my children all the time, don't be at school starting drama with anybody. Don't be fighting no one. Like, you don't want to be the creator of the chaos, because you never know how people are going to react. I tell my daughter all the time, for every action, there is an equal or unequal reaction. And once you do something, you have no control over how that person responds. So just don't fuck with people. That's really just what it is. This is something that could have been avoided. It's just, again, the entitlement, the sense of entitlement, the sense of I can control you. Like, this is my shit. I run it, and you just here. No. So people need to understand that the times are different. People tired of people's shit, and people standing up for themselves. And I'm all for people standing up for themselves by any means necessary. The trial has been scheduled for June 1st, 2026. So we will see how that goes. Hopefully they do not try to give this young man the death penalty. Y'all know Texas is very racist. I know we look at Houston and Dallas and we're like, oh, Texas is so lit. No, it's still racist. It's the same as Atlanta. We look at Atlanta and we forget about all the other sunset towns surrounding Atlanta and Georgia. It's like, no, this is still the South. Tread lightly. Carmelo Anthony was initially held with a $1 million bond, but it was later reduced to $250,000. And the black woman who was the judge received death threats for releasing him on that bond. That's crazy to me. Like, you people have such selective outrage. It's like, we only want certain privileges for us. And that's the definition of racism. When you are all for withholding opportunities and benefits from other races of people. Yeah, that's true. When that white woman was caught on camera at the playground calling that little 5-year-old boy the N-word, she received like $1 million in her GoFundMe. It's just a whole bunch of racist white people sending money anonymously. And that's the thing about GoFundMe. You can send it anonymously. So all the quiet racists just made this white woman rich overnight because she was on camera calling a little black kid the N-word at a playground. And she had her baby with her. They don't care who they be having with them. They'll have their whole family with them, their little baby on their hip, and they will still express their racism. But then they'll come to us and say, oh, it's not all about race. Oh, it's not always about color. Why are you playing the race card? Baby, slavery happened for real. And chattel slavery, to be exact. And it was just black people in that. It's always been about race. I'm tired of y'all. And now we are on to everybody's business. You guys, I have been sitting back laughing my ass off at all these black men that be talking bad about black women. You know, you got your Shannon Sharps, you got your RG3s, you have your Columbus Shorts, who is very short, in fact. All these men who go on public platforms and just express their disdain for the black woman. Then you turn around and you getting slapped in your face with all these charges from white women. Shannon Sharp. I saw Cat Williams try to advise you. I saw Monique try to advise you, telling you to get you an older black woman, you know, someone around your age. You turn around and get with Gabriella, little 19-year-old OnlyFans model who looked like a little boy in the face. You willing to pay $25,000 per cheek, $50,000 for a flat booty 19-year-old white girl. You sick. You're sick. Like, what is going on? I know Dr. Umar said that we supposed to, you know, stand by you and be, you know, solid, but I don't want to do that. Like, I am over standing up for people who don't stand up for women who look like me. Like, the first time I see you talk bad about black women, I'm canceling you in my mind. Because you are not for us, so why would I be for you? Being black is not enough. I used to be one of those people who was so delusional, and I used to say, oh, I'm gonna champion behind anybody who look like me. Like, black people, if you a black person, I'm all for you. I can't even be like that, you know, today, because honestly, all skin folk, not kin folk. You know how many black people I done met, really black people, and they be the whitest people on the inside. I don't want to, no, I'm not going to champion behind you. I'm not going to uplift your problems when you are reducing the black women to be, you know, the most unattractive, unappealing women on the earth. No, because I don't believe that. So if you believe that, then it's like we don't even align. So as far as Shannon Sharp goes, it went from $25,000 a cheek. They were having like racial BDSM play. You know, that's like that 50 Shades of Grey stuff. He was doing that, but he was letting her call him like racial slurs, like he was a slave and she was a plantation owner. Like, that's weird. Like, that makes me feel like you have like some psychological problems. That's crazy to me. So you're meaning to tell me Shannon Sharp was quoted saying that when he was growing up, black girls didn't give him an opportunity. They used to call him ugly. They used to call him all types of stuff. But you would let a white girl, 19-year-old white girl, call you a monkey while y'all having sex, and that turns you on? Black women are not the problem. I'm going to need y'all to stop using black women as a scapegoat for your psychological internal problems. We cannot be the burden of all problems. I'm sorry. I'm releasing us. Black women, listen. We have been released from the shackles of responsibility for all the problems of the black community. I'm over it. We're not going to do that. So you go on to say that, and then you turn around, this white girl slap you in the face with this lawsuit, and now she's wanting $50 million. $50 million. How I go from 50,000 to 50 million, Busby? I'm telling you, y'all say black women are gold diggers, but baby, I'm not seeing it. Like, I don't see it. Because it's like everyone that's getting money from these black men, and I know these black men deal with black women, but the people that's coming for your money, your legacy, your wealth, they're never black. So I'm going to need y'all to dead yet another narrative about black people, that black women are gold diggers. We ain't gold digging. No, black women just want to have a good time, live in our soft era, make our money look fabulous, be healthy, take care of our kids, take care of our house. We not out here trying to take nobody to court for their money. We so busy trying to get our own money. Maybe we did it wrong, black women. Maybe they, you know, we drunk too much of the Kool-Aid. Maybe we should have been out here trying to be gold diggers. Maybe we should have. Maybe we should have got away from that whole independent illusion of being an independent woman. The people who was falling for the feminist act with them white women was telling you you didn't need your man, and then they went home to their white man. Maybe black women, we got it all wrong. They wanted us to be hyper independent while all these non-black women are being taught to be taken care of by their men. So we're definitely not gold diggers. I don't feel like we dig enough. That's something to think about. But Shannon Sharp, I don't feel bad for you. Sorry, I don't. Again, people try to give you warnings, and you know they say there's warning before destruction. I mean, you like what you like. That's your preference, so deal with that. I hope she don't take all your money, but you know, in the court of law, it backs white women. You know, Tiger Woods' wife was a nanny, just a dusty little nanny, and now she a 100 millionaire. Y'all be just giving y'all money away. OnlyFans model, you are Shannon Sharp, football royalty. You're an icon. Why are you dealing with the likes of these women? Why do black men with money, especially you athletes, why do y'all always go to the brokest white girl? Get you a white woman with some money. Someone who has something to lose. So you're not faced with these type of issues. When you are the only breadwinner in the situation, it's going to be problems. Especially when you're dealing with a white girl, because she don't need you. She's only there for the time. And as soon as the money is not being given, like with Gabriella, he wasn't giving her the type of money she wanted. Now they're saying that you are sexually assaulting them. That's crazy. And it's a continuous cycle. And it's like, when are you people going to learn? Get it together. And you almost 60 years old. Like, you're literally a senior citizen. Like, you can go into McDonald's and get stuff half off on Tuesdays. Like, do better. That's crazy to me. And then, speaking of other black men who be talking about black women and then them white women coming, show their ass on you, Columbus Short, who was recorded last year saying that, you know, black women don't know how to be submissive and they don't really know how to treat their men because, you know, they were raised by their mothers and their mothers had, you know, strained relationships with their fathers, et cetera, going on a non-black platform, just degrading black women. And the non-black host was just living her best life while he was talking shit about black women. Then you fast forward to a couple days ago, Columbus Short is in the news because you had to get a restraining order on your non-black wife because you brought a dog to the house. And not only did she kick your dog, she beat your ass. That don't sound like submission. That don't sound like someone who able to take care of their man, someone who's serving their man, someone who was raised to be a wife. That don't sound like that. That sounds just like the black women that you were hypothetically speaking of. That's crazy. And speaking of your wife kicking that dog, they crucified Michael Vick for kicking dogs' asses. Y'all need to upcharge her. I want to see her ass in community service. She need to be out there at them shelters, saving dogs. Like, get on that non-black woman head, like just like you did that black man. For me, I'm just okay with everyone being on the same totem pole. Give everybody the shit. Don't just give it to my people. I want everyone to have the same consequences. I want y'all to hit her with that Michael Vick energy. You over here kicking dogs in America? A man's best friend? Nope. Columbus Short, I know she called you the N-word. That probably was the force behind you seeking any type of litigation or against this woman. A restraining order, that means she really showed him how crazy she was. And guess what? I don't feel bad for you. You cannot go on social platforms and talk bad about black women and then expect any type of remorse from me. I'm sorry, baby. I ain't strong enough. Then we're going to talk about something. Okay, so back in June, we went to see Beyonce in Houston. Saturday, June 28th, a night I will never forget. She was, of course, beautiful, talented, she's just a veteran in the game. It's like the energy inside of the building, like, Beyonce is just that girl. Like, that's undisputable. So when I be seeing y'all hating in the comments, it really be disturbing my peace because the woman been around for forever. It was parts of the show where it literally showed this woman's upbringing into star power. So I feel like Beyonce was born to be who she was. Like, it showed videos of her as a child up until, like, the different facets of her adult life, teenager life, everything up until now. This woman was built for this. So when I be seeing y'all in the comments talking about, this or that, really just trying to diminish her greatness, it's so annoying, and I really feel bad for y'all. I'm starting to judge people based on if they like Beyonce or not. Because, and it's not like if you're part of the Beehive, it's just that you have so many people who just vocalize and they volunteer their opinion about Beyonce. Like, I don't really like her like that. They don't even have a logical reason as to why they don't like her. They can't give me any reason as to why they don't like Beyonce. Or they'll try to say something that really isn't backed with any evidence. Oh, she a witch, she evil. What has she done evil? Like, I need concrete proof from you to show me why do you have such disdain for this powerful, respectful, rich black woman. I really feel like that's the main reason why people have such a negative connotation around Beyonce because you a hater for one, and you don't like seeing black women in those positions. For example, Gavin Adcock, country music artist, who was videoed saying that Beyonce's music, and I quote, ain't country music. That shit ain't country music. And that's why I'm so happy that in her show, she shows the history, the true history of country music. Gavin Adcock, you are a typical white man in America who feels like white people created everything, although some of the most significant innovations in American history were actually created by black people. Y'all be so delusional. And those are the type of white people I don't like, the types who have it made up in their minds that they are the best and that they created everything, even though you were a bystander who took over and not the actual curator of the greatness. I don't like your type. Like, it's one thing to be delusional, but don't be delusional and disrespectful. He really got mad because Beyonce's album was in front of his on the charts and also on Apple and Spotify. You cannot deter greatness. Like, it doesn't matter what you feel. And that's another thing. I need all the haters out there. You have to understand something. When someone is great, they're going to be great with or without your support. Gavin is out here performing at people bars. Beyonce performing at stadiums and selling them out, making history. The woman done made $500 million in total. You can't, it's like yo talking, not stopping her from going to the bank. And then a couple days later, Gavin was arrested for driving reckless, speeding, had open containers of alcohol or drugs. I don't know what he had in his car. That's called karma. So I know y'all saying, oh, Beyonce a witch. Well, she was cooking up some good shit. And I'm so happy. It's like, just shut up. Like, don't talk about great women who are of the black community, because you always gonna fail. Y'all talking, but she's walking to the bank. So she wins. And people gonna love Beyonce regardless of her detractors. People been saying all types of stuff about Beyonce, and it still doesn't matter, because at the shows, you know what's crazy? Even Beyonce's haters come to her show. When me and my man were walking out of the concert, we heard some Mexican dude was standing behind us. I don't know if he was Mexican or white, but he was behind us. And we all like, it's like so many black people. I'm telling y'all, it's like a black reunion. We all in our cowboy Carter, clothes and everything, got our outfits on. This dude behind me to my son, I didn't really like the show that much. She just, she won't get no more of my money. You already gave her your money, fool. Like, thank you. Like, it doesn't matter. She didn't say it was going to be good to you. She just said that she was going to be there. And she was there and you were there. So she already got your money. Y'all be hating. I want to see you go to J-Lo. Y'all been seeing them videos of J-Lo performing here lately. That shit looks a mess. Jenny from the block need to go sit down. It's over. Get off the block. Go get on the couch. It's over. But Beyonce was great. And it's crazy because we were actually at that concert where her little Cadillac like started tilting over. She was singing 16 carriages like in the sky. Y'all know Beyonce is just a daredevil. She loved to be in the air. And she was just like riding around in that Cadillac. And then we heard her say, stop. And we looking like, what's going on? And the car was like sitting sideways. But she handled it so professionally. Her voice didn't crack. She, they lowered her. She got down. She came back on stage, finished the song, closed it out. Didn't show any signs of being nervous. She said that she know that if she would fall, we would catch her. And it's like, Beyonce, I love you, baby, but if you would have failed, that car would have failed. So everybody would have been dead. So I don't know about that. But we love you, though. But I'm telling y'all, like, we were so nervous. Like, when we saw her walk back on the stage, we was like, oh, my God, thank you, Beyonce. And she was like, I know if I would have failed, y'all would have caught us. And I'm like, probably not with the car. But if you walking and you fall, I got you. But I love Beyonce. Beyonce, keep doing what you're doing. Cowboy Carter was an amazing concert. So happy I was able to experience that. And my man, like, he not even like a huge Beyonce fan, but I'm so grateful that he was open to experiencing that with me, because I was just singing my little heart out. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, the 13-year-old in me was just so happy to like finally be in the same building with this woman and just seeing her, and she had her daughters on the stage with her. It's just a legacy of greatness. Anyone who says anything other than that, baby, you a hater. And I can't fathom how a hater think. But for me, Beyonce is the queen. The only person who I would ever put in front of Beyonce is Michael Jackson. And that's only because that man was born in 1958, and that was Jim Crow era, so you really can't compete with that. But yeah, Beyonce is that girl. All the Beyonce haters, y'all just mad because that black woman is making money in a genre that you really thought belonged to you. No, it does not. It never did. Country music is another one of those American aspects that were created and curated by African Americans and then gentrified by white people. On to the next. Reclaim America, Beyonce. I'm all for it, boo. And speaking of Beyonce, her husband, Jay-Z. Y'all know back in December, Busby, the same man that came for Shannon Sharp, was saying that he put out a lawsuit saying that Jay-Z, a long time ago, early 2000s, allegedly raped a 13-year-old. Y'all, they released this like a day before his daughter's Lion King was released in her press conferences, and all her red carpet events and everything. They released that, like trying to blemish her moment. So in regards to the Jay-Z situation and the Busby, he has countersued him, saying emotional distress on him and his family, that he has lost like up to $200 million in like loans because no one wants to give a loan to a man, regardless of you being a billionaire, to a black man suspected of raping a 13-year-old non-black girl. Like, it's a crazy, crazy situation. Even though the girl, the Jane Doe, and I hate that they protect them like that. Like, I feel like if you come in for someone's legacy and you are blemishing them and their character in the public, they should be able to put a face to that. You shouldn't be able to cause that much hell and harm and still be anonymous. That's not fair. That's something that we need to change. Once you seek any type of litigation towards someone, regardless of who they are, but especially when they have those type of connections and that type of money, you should not be able to not be seen. Like, we need to see who you are. I know they be saying, oh, it's just a protection measure, et cetera, et cetera. These people have power, they have money, so they have the withstanding to harm them. That may be true, but you also just stop this man from expanding his business and making more money for him and his family. So it's like a lose-lose situation. He countersued him for $200 million, which I'm pretty sure Busby not gonna be able to afford that, and basically say like, yeah, like you caused some problems in my family and you gonna have to pay for that. And that is one of my messages, y'all. When people come to you and people try to play with you, make them pay for it. You want to know the biggest way to make somebody pay for something? Their bank account. People don't want to spend no money. I tell people all the time, baby, I don't fight, I don't argue. We can go to court, though. I'm going to get a good-ass lawyer. I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm protecting my peace. Don't you come for me, and I won't come for you. But in the event that you do come for me, I'm going to sue you. I don't have time. We too old. I'm 31 years old now. I'm not going to be in the streets fighting. That's ghetto. Got too much to lose. Like, y'all be out here playing too much. Y'all be coming for people and trying to attack people, whether it be defamation of character on social media, whether there be, libel, slandering. You just slandering people's names. And for that, there's a price to pay for that. So I advocate for anybody. If you going through something and somebody trying to slander your name and you got something to lose, baby, seek litigation. Make them people pay. Put their money where their mouth at. Stop playing with me. No. Hold them accountable. And when I say hold them accountable, I mean in their account. Take that money out their account. Real talk. Stop playing.
And speaking of taking them to the bank, I am so happy for the ladies who left a toxic situation and got with the big dogs. Okay? Clock that. My daughter be like, stop doing that. Anyway, I'm talking about Cardi B. It is now, offset, onset, upset, cheater, infidelity, master. Took that woman down through there. They were married for multiple years, 7 years, I want to say to be exact. And within those 7 years, he had so many infidelity cases. Like, women were actually coming out like, yeah, Cardi, I'm messing with your man. I got pictures of your man. I'm DMing you. I'm sending you text messages. So she went through a lot of emotional distress, and he kept getting her pregnant. That's a red flag. And y'all, I've been talking about Cardi B and this offset situation since I started Grade A Talks back in December of 2023. It's been a continuous thing. And I've mentioned numerous times that I feel like she needs to leave, and she'll probably be better off by herself, like without him. And not saying I'm not about, family, households, in the dynamics of the households being together, but how much is a woman expected to take? If you're a man's wife, I expect you to act like I'm your wife. I expect you to act like we did vows in front of our family and God, right? Is that too much to ask? Well, for an offset it is. This man been cheating the whole time. So now Cardi B is with Stephon Diggs, who is a wide receiver for the New England Patriots. And they've been out here living their best life. And Upset is on social media just trying to, again, slander her name, trying to get alimony, spousal support. A man trying to get spousal support from a woman. That's just bitter. Isn't that the word I like to use for women? Just bitter. And you know what it's giving? It's giving broke. Why would you need my money? Oh, I know why. Because you know just as well as I know that I'm the breadwinner in the marriage. Women, if you have a lot of money, never marry a man you got more money than. Okay, well, that's not good advice. Never marry a cheater that you got more money than. Because he already has issues with morals. So why would he not try to take your money? He don't care. And as soon as he sees that you're moving on, he's going to try to destroy you. In and out of court, her kids be with her most of the time anyway. He talking about he don't want to use her mother as the middle ground to do their exchange. I don't want to see you. I'm all for a third party. You want to see your kids? Send me a third party that I like. Send me somebody who not messy, who not immature, and you can see your children. But me and you, too much bad blood, baby. Too much bad blood. And you're still doing things. You're still on Twitter talking about me. You're trying to diminish my relationship, trying to diminish my character in front of all these people. When really, I brought you more fans. I made you pop because everybody know that in the Migos, Takeoff was the best rapper, and everybody love Quavo because y'all think he cute. Upset, like, everybody here for you, Otis. Cardi B really made you who you think you are. And that's just facts. And she got more money than you. Hence the reason why you're seeking spousal support from her. You're trying to take this woman money. No. I can't stand men like that. You bitter, and you felt like she was going to be there forever, and now you don't know what to do because you messed up your household. You are the cause of all your problems. Ladies, I love the fact that Cardi B left. Y'all know I used to say she's basically a doormat for him. Sometimes when men do things over and over and you stay, they feel like you're always going to stay. So when you build up the courage to leave a situation that's not catering to you properly, they go crazy. Leave that crazy ass where they at. It ain't your problem no more. She got her own boats, yachts with Stephon Diggs. Granted, I wouldn't want my man having all them women around, and I don't know what they had in their little pink package. I don't know what that was. It gave me like little Diddy vibes, kind of, like that pink cocaine. But I don't know, and I don't want to speculate. But yeah, she seemed like she happy, and so I'm all for a woman being happy. He got her in castles and stuff. So I mean, if you're happy, if you like it, I love it. I'm happy she away from Offset onset. That's one thing for sure, because he's just crazy, and nobody got time for crazy. Women, protect your peace at all costs. All costs. Can't compromise your happiness for nobody. If you're not happy, it don't matter about the history. It doesn't matter, because keep in mind, you're staying because of the history. They're aware of the history as well, because they were in their history with you, and they're still conducting themselves how they want to. So you got to take that into consideration. Like, does this man really love me? Or is this a convenient situation for him? Am I making it that easy for a man that he feels like I'm going to be here forever, regardless of how he approaches me and deals with me and handles me? If you're not handling that woman properly, and that woman leaves and she gets better for herself, you have no one but to blame but yourself, and you just got to respect it at that point. That's just what it is. Too much blood, bad blood, and can't be doing that. Can't be out here doing what you want to do, especially if you are a husband, and this woman took on your kids that you had before her. Like, she just jumped into the relationship as a stepmama, didn't get to enjoy you by herself or nothing. Got to deal with baby mamas and all types of stuff. Like, you fumble, bro, so you just gonna have to deal with that. Crazy. And another woman, Tiana Taylor. She was married to Iman Shumpert, former NBA player. Their divorce is finalized. She got a lot of things out of that divorce, including alimony, homes, etc., etc. And people were mad. They was like, she taking everything from them men. It's like, no, she's taking what she should take. This woman gave birth to two of this man's children, his only children, and they were married for a great deal of time, and he accrued more money during their marriage, as she did. So no, a man is supposed to take care of his wife, whether you married or not married, and his children. Why would you not? I'm not freeing you up of no responsibility. You want to be out here cheating and we get a divorce, due to you cheating? I'm going to need to be compensated for every year we were together. And you're going to make sure my kids are still living the same lifestyle that they were living if they had their two-parent household, which they should. But they don't because of your ass. So you're going to have to pay for that, buddy. Like I said, take them to the bank. Hold them accountable, ladies. People don't learn until they start losing money. Hey, sometimes you got to pay to play. Literally. And then another girl is Cash Doll. I love Cash Doll. I just love Cash Doll. Her energy, she's so beautiful, and she's just herself. I love authenticity. She is with Zadarius Smith, who is a former defensive end for the Detroit Lions. He's a free agent at the moment, but I'm pretty sure he's going to get picked up. That man is like a walking freaking Greek god. He's just like, oh my goodness. And they just have like this great vibe, and they're just doing things. He told her that she don't need to wear makeup like that. She said her man said he likes her in her natural state, her real hair, her real makeup. I love that, especially for a rich man, because they be liking Barbies. And I think that's good for just the regular 9-to-5 men to understand too. Like, there's beauty in women in their natural state. What Drake say? Chilling with no makeup on, that's when you're the prettiest. I hope you don't take it wrong. Like, women, we gotta understand that additives are okay, but the real beauty is in your natural state. Like, I always feel pretty, but I feel my prettiest not when I have, a face full of makeup on or anything. I feel the prettiest when my skin is clean. Like, when you first clean your skin and you just walking around with your bare face and your moisturizers and your collagen and all that, I be like, I'm really pretty. So you gotta love yourself regardless. And I love the fact that he is, putting that into her, because she said that she never had that before. And just like Tiana Taylor said, she never had what she had with Mufasa. She said she feels like he is like a safe space for her. She feels very safe in her relationship with him. And I love that for her. She said that they're like the perfect balance. She feels like he's very supportive of her dreams, her goals, and he's not critical of them. And he also, advocates for her to pursue her dreams and go outside of her comfort zone. Like, you need people who have their own thing going, so that when you're trying to expand and grow, it doesn't intimidate them. The only people intimidated by your growth are the people who not growing, the people who stagnate. You don't need nobody like that around you. There's gonna be a lot of arguments. There's gonna be a lot of hating. And women, the man that you laying next to can be your biggest op. I'm telling you. Why you think so many women have children, and then them and the father don't work out, and they be like, man, this man is really like my enemy, my biggest opposition. Just because you're having sex with somebody don't mean that they have your best interest at heart. It doesn't mean any of that. But if you're blessed enough to get someone around you, and allow access to someone who is supportive, who's pure, then their intentions are pure. They only want to see you do great, and they only want to bring peace and love and joy to you. You want it. And I hope none of those women go back to those situations prior that weren't catering to them properly. I feel like they glowing different. When a woman is loved correctly, she glows differently. And for the women who haven't found their Prince Charming yet, Cardi B got a song for you too, boo-boo. It's called Outside. It just came out 2 weeks ago. You can be outside, and when I say outside, I'm not saying, being promiscuous or, being distasteful. Be outside. So many women be like, oh, I can't find anyone of this, but you in the house. That man not gonna come to your house and find you. You have to be outside. You have to be seen. You have to be present. If you want a certain quality of a man, dial yourself up. Read some books so that when you have a conversation with this man, you're not being lost in the conversation. You can actually have a conversation about something that, other than materialistic things. Intellectual conversations. Be a mental stimulator. Put yourself in position to receive such man. Put yourself in different environments. If you're always attracting a certain, type of guy, go where they don't be at. Be outside, be present, be seen, and be your best and look your best, and you will find your man. Seriously, you will. And remember, if you keep doing the same, if you keep operating the same in the same mental state, if you keep operating in the same physical realm, which means where you're going environmentally, you're going to be subjected to being around the same people you're tired of being around. The change starts with you, baby.
The change starts with you. And if you're in a relationship that's toxic and you feel like, I've been in here so long, we have our history, I don't really know what I would do. Cardi B had 3 kids. All 3 of her children came from her husband. They were married for 7 years. That's history. Tiana Taylor has children by her ex-husband. That's history. Cash Doll had 2 children by her former boyfriend. That's history. So if you don't have kids by a man, you really don't have no ties to that man. Y'all have to break away from y'all detachment issues. And most of that stuff really starts from your childhood. A lot of people probably had a parent, either one parent or the other parent left. So you have like attachment issues, probably weren't raised by your parents, probably mostly with your grandparents or whatever the case may be. So once a person is in your life for a consistent amount of time, regardless if they're good to you or not, you become so familiar with it that you just deal with it. Because in your mind, it's like, this is better than nothing. No, baby, better is out there. You just have to want that for yourself. So I hope that you all, just go out there and be your best, be beautiful, be happy, be genuine, be authentic, be yourself. I feel like we live in a world where so many people want to be everybody, but it's really remiss in a sense because the world needs you to be you. You don't have to be nobody else, and you can't be nobody else because they're them and you're you. So just be yourself, and I feel like naturally, everything that's meant for you will organically gravitate to you. Operate in your authenticity. My beautiful black women, operate in your soft girl era, your femininity. Remember that they do be trying to scapegoat us for their issues. Men, they do try to scapegoat us because it's so easy to do that. It's so easy for us to be, the brunt of all the jokes. It's so easy for us to, take on the burden of all the issues in the community. But that stops now. That stops now. We out here with our boots on the ground. We out here flapping our fans. We out here having our best time. And some may think that it's crazy that we're doing this in the midst of all this chaos and the climate that's going on in American history. But what they don't understand is it's always been like this for black people. This is nothing new. We are a very resilient group of people who know how to navigate through a system that was never created for us. So I want y'all to be out there living y'all best life. Hey, get that degree, get that new job, update that resume, read some more books. Seek knowledge for yourself and your children. Remember, we're living in a world where they're not going to teach our kids who they truly are, but that starts at the house. Everything starts with you. I want black women to understand that the good and the bad, the evil, it all starts with us. Like, we're able to influence change. We're able to evoke change in our lives. Nothing is too big for us. We can do the impossible because why? We are the original people and we have like a direct line to our creator, and we know this. So my beautiful black women, be great. Be beautiful, seek knowledge, and just be happy. And again, if you're not being treated properly, what would you do at a restaurant if you weren't being treated properly? You would get up from the table and just dismiss yourself because they don't deserve your energy and they don't deserve access. So, yeah. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Grade A Talks. I'm so happy that you all were here with me. I hope that you all took some knowledge. I hope I provoked thought in you. I hope that you will come back. Make sure that you engage in the comments. I really wanted to know how you all felt as far as the political climate and various topics that I discussed during this podcast. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you again. Peace. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Grade A Talks. It's your girl, Ariel, the gracious, the well-informed, the nurse babe. I am so happy to be here with you guys. I have been so busy, being a mother. I'm back in school now. It takes up so much of my time, but I remember where I'm happiest at, and I'm happiest when I'm creating and when I'm researching things to bring back to you all, when I'm able to provoke thought, because I'm always thinking of ideas. I'm always having an opinion about the various things that are going on in the world, and so this is where I'm happiest at. And so I'm so grateful that you all are patient with me. I have so many people who come to me and like, when the next video coming out? I'm like, oh my God, I got a test. But hey, I'm about to do better with my time management skills because I love the people that love me doing this. Thank you guys for sticking by me, for being, again, so patient and just waiting around for little old me and my podcast. I appreciate the love and the energy. You guys are such a blessing. So here we go. Let's jump into it. As previously mentioned, in regards to the Carmelo Anthony case, you can go register to view the video. I will advocate for all people. I'm literally encouraging all of you all to go see this video. If we're gonna have opinions about things of such, we need to educate ourselves. Why are they not releasing this video?
Down below, there'll be a link that you can click on, and it will take you to the Frisco Independent School District page where they have the video linked. You'll have to do a brief registration, and then you'll have access to the video. I just feel like if we're going to have opinions about the life and the legacy of this young man, it would be very remiss of us to not even, seek the truth about what happened. I feel like that's very important. Again, I feel like if it was incriminating material within that video, it would have been released, being that it's not, and that they're withholding it to a certain degree. We need to do our due diligence and go and look and see exactly why it's not on any public platforms and why we're having to register, to see it. But I do advocate for that. And again, the link is below. Please tune in and share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Peace.